Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is Alrighty Then, and I'll be doing a review on the Milwaukee Fuel 2-inch 55mm die grinder. Here it is. So just for perspective, this is a pneumatic die grinder. You plug it into your air hose right here. Notice how the handle is really thin, so you can really get a good grip on it. It's thin because it uses air, so there's really nothing much for the internals here. It has the same safety switch, same type of head where you put the grinder part. Right here it's a 1/4 inch. It's really nice and small. The only disadvantage to this is that you have to have air. So you need a really big compressor because this thing sucks up air like a mother. So you need to have a lot of air flowing through this to keep it going. The other disadvantage is that with the air hose connected, even though I have a right angle here, it's still quite cumbersome sometimes to get into tight spots. So with this, it is a little easier to hold in your hand. However, the cable makes it a little bit difficult depending on distance, how far away you are from the compressor, and how tight of an angle or an area you want to go. So technically, if you were to put the hose like this, you could get into a little spot that thin, which is already smaller than the Milwaukee die grinder. But I digress. So on the electric rechargeable Milwaukee Fuel brushless die grinder, the handle is quite big. So if you've got a small hand, good luck trying to get a hold of this, because it is pretty heavy duty. They make it that thick because the battery has to go inside the handle. The cool thing is you can have these little small 2.0 batteries to make the profile a little bit smaller. Okay. It tells you your usage, how much battery life you have right here. So once you press the trigger, it tells you how much battery life. It also has that little safety trigger mechanism so that when you press it, you don't inadvertently start it, like if you step on it or something. So you have to depress this first or move it out of the way, and then you can press it down to activate the the die grinder. You can use a 4.0 battery on it, or you can use the SX 6.0. Either way will work. So depending on how far you have to go, these are great because you can use it anywhere. Just make sure you have an extra charger and some batteries with you. But again, you can put the small battery to lessen the profile, or if you're working on something really that needs a lot of grinding, you can use the bigger battery and it'll last longer. Okay. It has variable speed trigger. So the harder you press the trigger, the faster it goes. So in setting 1, it'll go up to 10,000 RPMs. On setting 2, it'll go up to 15,000 RPMs. On setting 3, 20,000. And on setting 4, 24,500, which is pretty fast. So if you have a heavy hand and you really can't control how fast you're going to grind the material off, you may want to go with a light RPM, something slower, because the minute you touch the material, you're going to take it off. Trust me. So you have to be really careful with these. It comes with these 2 wrenches so that you can open the collar, so you can put your grinder in there. Don't put it in all the way. Give yourself a little bit of room. That goes on the big one. This goes on the little one. Come on now. Play nice. There you go. There you go. Once you have it nice and secure, make sure you've got it nice and tight, because you don't want this thing to go flying off. So I like to hold them both together like this and just give them a squeeze. That's going to make it nice and tight. So let's see what this thing sounds like. So here we go. Locked and loaded, baby. So right now we're on speed 1. As you can see, when you press the trigger just a little bit, it kind of lights up the trigger. So let's listen to it. So that was 10,000. Let's go to 15. Already you can tell a difference. Let's go to 20. And finally 24,500. That's fast. I'm going to go back to 1. I want to check to see how much torque it has. So I'm going to hold it a little bit. So it cuts off the minute it feels the pressure. And I'm really not holding it that tight. But let's see once it's going, see if it'll resist a little bit more. Woo, yeah, it'll hold it. So you could smell the burnt flesh. If you are really pressing hard on it, it might cut off on you. But once you get it going and it starts, it pretty much takes off from there. So you don't have to worry about being heavy-handed with it. The cool thing about these is that you can have replacement heads. They have some where the little patches, they have coarse grinding wheels, they have buffing wheels. You can use these die grinders for almost anything. You can put a cutting wheel on it, a buffing wheel, and there's a little screw that this little thing actually screws into, so you don't have to change the rubber piece at all. This can stay here. For the flat sanding discs, you can just peel these off and put another one on. Actually, hold on. Let me show you. Does this one come off? Yeah, you untwist it, you unscrew it. So there you go. That's how you do it. So you can get, the little discs are gonna look like this, and they have a little screw, and the little coarse wheels and everything just come right on here, and you just screw it on, and that's it. They'll never get loose because they're screwed in the direction that it's spinning, so you don't have to worry about it coming loose from you. So once you have it in your hand, it feels pretty good. But again, it's a little bit, look at how, you're going to have to get used to holding it. And for more control, you can put your finger up here like this, and then use your pinky, and then you kind of use these fingers back here to control the speed, so you have more control over it. But otherwise, it's pretty nice. I've used it already to sharpen machetes, lawnmower blades, because it kind of gets in there real easy. I like the fact that it shows you how much battery life you have left, so you don't you can get your other battery ready while you're waiting. It's nice. It has one single rotation. It doesn't spin any other way. It also has a work light right here, so that it tells you, you can see what you're doing if you're going to be doing anything in some dark, tight spaces. Alright guys, this has been Alrighty Then with your Technology Tuesday. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that little bell so you can see when the next video is coming out. Have a good one, guys. Until the next one.